coming up.
What are these teams? Yeah.
I'm so excited about Bonita. Who's the tiebreaker? Because I'm with
no love for students.
I'm with
you
the
guys
student
all
section.
argued for student sections last week.
Signal Sports Hot 10 is brought to you in part by Total Woman Gym and Day Spa and Nissan of Valencia.
Hi, I'm Dan Sturkle, General Manager of Nissan of Valencia, home to the $99 down delivers. Nissan of Valencia loves Santa Clarita, and we love sports. That's why we have donated thousands of dollars to our local schools and their athletic departments, including thousands in scholarships and even a brand new car to help keep kids in school. Nissan of Valencia has extremely competitive pricing on all our Nissan models, including the 38 miles to the gallon 2013 Altima. We also have a great selection of pre-owned vehicles with very aggressive pricing. There's no reason to go anywhere else. Hope to see you soon here at Nissan of Valencia.
Okay, week one in the books. This is our list from last week, our Hot 10 list, looking for new nominations based on Friday night's games.
I guess I'll start then, since nobody else is saying anything. I was at the Canyon game. Tevin Priestley, cornerback for the Canyon High Cowboys. Outstanding game. 3 pass breakups, interception in the end zone. Key player for that team.
I like Tevin Priestley, but should it be the Canyon secondary? Is that Kuha? Is that how you say his name? Chua. 80-yard interception return. They had, 5 interceptions
They had
in
5
all?
interceptions, yeah. I mean, I guess you could do the whole secondary. I thought he was the shining star in that. But, yeah, absolutely. Izzy Cabrera, Zach Chua, other guys who had interceptions in that game. So 5 interceptions.
Out of any defense in the Santa Clarita Valley, the Canyon defense was the most surprising Friday night.
Yeah.
Is that safe to say?
Yeah, and you crushed them last year, too.
I crushed them last year, but this year there would be only one defense that I would crush. It would be Hart, but they did have some outperformers on the offensive side of the ball that are already on our list.
Should they move up, is the question.
Well, speaking of Hart, I'll throw this one out there as a nominee. You guys know I was adamantly against West Ranch student section being on this list last week. I'm nominating the Hart student section. A 3-hour drive and stop and go traffic to Santiago. At least 100 to 150 kids showed up, decked out in red, and they were loud from start to finish. If there's a student section this week that deserves to be on this list, it's Hart.
All right. Hart student section could move on to this list. Dan, you got anything from Friday night?
I didn't go to any football games, but I'm gonna go a different route here. Max Homa, he's playing in the Walker Cup this week. He's one of the top-ranked amateur golfers in the world right now. And the Walker Cup is one of the biggest amateur events. It's his last event as an amateur. I think this is a big deal, Max Homa.
And he's been one of the biggest standouts in the Santa Clarita Valley all summer.
Sure, absolutely.
NCAA champion.
Absolutely.
Okay, I've got one. I've got the undefeated Golden Valley Grizzlies. Do you just put them on there as a team? Is that
Yes, and you put them at number 1.
And you put them at number 1. You're already ranking them.
Yes, I know. But what they did, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's much, but that was a lot of suffering. That team, that's the buzz of the Santa Clarita Valley right now.
At Signal Sports on Twitter, that's what they were talking about.
Exactly. That I was keeping a good eye on Twitter. That got retweeted. Us tweeting out that score for Golden Valley got retweeted more than anything else on Friday night. So,
all right, one more thing from Saugus. Reed Roop, 291 rushing yards, 3 touchdown runs of 55, 12, and 88 yards. That sounds like enough to get on the list.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you jump, he wasn't a big name coming into this year, was he?
Well, toward the end of the season, as he got more carries, you could see that he was the next big star over there at Saugus High School. I think this was kind of a confirmation of it in week 1. I know it's just week 1, but played outstanding.
Sounds like we got about 5 new members of this list. We might have to shift some around. Who's coming off this list since we have to replace a few?
I nominated her last week, Elisa Pierre. Obviously golf season has not started, so that would be the first.
This might be more of a football list.
Yeah.
After week 1. Elisa Pierre is probably coming off. West Ranch students are probably coming off. They could be back on. He's not coming off this list.
he might move up.
Ted Cinda might come off for just.
I think Ted stays on the list, and the reason being, COC's first game is this Saturday.
Okay.
So that's buzz. You want buzz? That's buzz.
Maybe James Shields comes off.
Yes.
Possible.
So we've got a few that might come off. We'll work on this list, and we'll see it how it
We'll
looks.
stamp it in. Let's stamp it in.
We're not going to stamp
not
it in
yet.
yet. We'll
Not yet.
step it in.
All right, I'm
in
excited
just
about
a second.
stamping stuff in. So.
At Signal Sports Hot 10, brought to you in part by Total Woman Gym and Day Spa in Valencia. Get to know Total Woman by getting your 3-day free pass at TotalWomanSpa.com or by calling 661-286-0229.
All right, we got the new list now. Number 10, Max Homa. It's a great week for him, like we've discussed. Everybody okay with Homa at 10?
Yeah, I guess. No argument. Yeah.
Jen Miller, we didn't talk about him in the first segment, but West Ranch coach, they come out with a 56-0 win on Friday night.
They played Hawthorne, which is cupcake, but at the same time, 56 points is a lot of points. That's impressive.
And if there's a coach that's buzzing right now in the Santa Clarita Valley, it's the new coach.
It's got to be the new guy
from West Ranch. At number 8, we've got now our only professional player on our list, Shane Vereen. The Patriots start playing on Sunday. I think he should still be on this list.
No arguments.
No.
Saugus Cross Country moving down a little bit just because they haven't started yet.
How hard does that hurt to put Saugus Cross Country on that list still?
that.
It hurts me every single week, but I understand their significance in this valley.
Come around.
We're coming around.
So I'm coming around. If you talk about it for the next 4 months, which I'm sure you'll do because that's what you do.
There is a significant event this Saturday that Saugus Cross Country is hosting in the Santa Clarita Valley with.
It's called the Saugus September Showdown, and it's got Great Oak, Bonita, J. Sarah. What are these teams? Yeah.
I'm so excited about Bonita.
These are all defending state champions. So there are 4 defending state champions in this meet. I think it's an argument Saugus could maybe move up a few spots. This is a big, big event here in the Santa Clarita Valley at Central Park.
I caught a bonita once.
And a squirrel as well, right?
At number 6, Cade Absay. They get the win. Last week, he was right here. He goes down a few spots. He's still somebody that you talk about.
Yeah.
But Cade Absay, not his best.
I saw him on the sidelines during the game, and I said something to him about the defense outplaying the offense. So he knows he should sink a little bit because that defense elevated that team.
Absay, 16 for 29, 270.
Yeah.
Touchdown, interception. Pretty pedestrian night, but he's still one of the better players in the Santa Clarita Valley.
We've seen better from him.
Number 5, Reed Roop jumps onto the list in a major way.
No argument. Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing more of him.
Want to see more of him. I mean, he's a guy that, you put up almost 300 rushing yards every week. You could be right at the top.
Yeah.
He could also fall off next week if he just kind of has a mediocre game.
That's one of the top offensive games in Saugus High School history, so definitely.
The Canyon secondary might be too low. They were so dynamic. You talked about Tevin Priestley.
Chua.
We're going to mess up that.
Apparently his dad's a real big biker, so I wouldn't probably
keep calling
mess up his name too much.
Could you please say it one more time? Chua.
And his brother's the punter on the team.
Like
as well.
Chewbacca. Another good story that could possibly be on this list. Anytime you have twins, I can't believe they weren't on the initial list.
We wrote the story on them in the
I know
newspaper.
you did. I read it. It was fantastic.
No, it wasn't, but go ahead.
Number 3, you got Connor Wingenroth. 2 and 3, you've got these 2 guys that had monstrous games.
Yeah.
I
don't know
think
how
that
you separate the two.
You could move them up and move this down. What happened? You were there.
Brady White sets a school record with 36 completions. Amazing. That's a school record with Kyle Bowler and all these other great quarterbacks that we've had come through Hart. But Brady White does.
Matt Moore, yeah. Remember
Matt Moore,
professional Miami Dolphins. But anyway, Brady White not only showcased everything that he showed last year, but he's also commanded the pocket substantially better than last year. Has a little bit of a running game. He was getting out of the pocket, doing something with his legs. But Connor Wingenroth won that game for Hart. If you have to separate them, he's out.
It sounds like somebody else needs a Brady White poster as well.
You know what?
Do you have a copy?
I'm about ready to get Bridges' poster because I believe in Brady White.
Everyone should be buying Brady White posters at this point.
Okay.
Because they're on the upswing. I'm telling you.
Hart struggled late, but it was the defense. It was not Brady White. And Brady White deserves to be where he is.
Hart's defense might be number one on our not hot 10 list.
Oh, absolutely. I would say pick a guy, though. I mean, I don't think they should be that close.
I would put them on the same line. I think Brady White and Connor Wingenroth together won that game. And before we start bashing the defense, that game was almost lost because of special teams. Defense was great for 3 quarters.
Yeah, you said not hot 10. Special teams in the Santa Clarita Valley should be on the not 10.
Maybe number 1.
Okay, so if we combine their powers of White and Wings, can they move up to number 1?
White and Wings.
I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because Golden Valley winning its first game since 2011, that's what people are talking about in the Santa Clarita Valley. Yes, that game was on TV. The Hart game was on TV. Yes, Hart's one of the best teams in the Santa Clarita Valley. This is the Grizzlies' time to shine.
But it is their time to shine. But is it a fainting? Is it going to go away?
This is a 1-week
This
list.
is for this week.
No, this is an ever-evolving list.
Yeah.
And for this week,
Right now, the Grizzlies are the best.
most buzz is.
So could they
I
drop
go back.
off altogether next week? Brady White,
I could.
Brady White and Connor Wingenroth aren't going off this list anytime soon.
See, if you're going to talk about combining the powers, I think White Wings should be its own.
White Wings.
Yeah.
So should they be at number 2 or number 1?
Number 2.
2.
White Wings.
White
number 2 on
Wings
the odd 10.
is going
Shift everything up.
to number 2. We've got that Hart student section that I'd like to include on this list. So could we put the Hart student section
There's a lot of love for Hart on this list.
as
If a student section ever deserves it, not only was that game on Labor Day weekend, 3 hours to go 80 miles, it was also on TV. These kids had no incentive.
It was Labor Day weekend. They had nothing else to do.
You
the
didn't
Labor Day
sit
weekend,
in that stop and go traffic that I sat in. That was a trek, and they could have stayed home, watched it on TV, and been comfortable. They didn't. They went down to San Diego.
It was tape delay.
And I'm
It
impressed.
was on tape delay. I'm just saying that.
what if we move everyone starting, we'll leave Max home at number 10.
Yep.
We move everyone up, put the Hart student section at 9, and we've got our list.
Works for me.
That wouldn't work for me. I'm just going to throw this out there again.
Yeah.
COC, their first football game this Saturday.
Ted Iacenda.
Yes.
Maybe
And
just
Ted,
COC
this is
football.
Ted's first game. I mean, this is a local boy coming home and his first head coaching job ever. I mean, a lot of people don't know just how great of a football player Ted Iacenda was out here. He was the man in the mid-90s out here.
So you think Ted Iacenda over the student section for this week?
Absolutely.
I have to disagree.
Dan,
I'm with COC, yes.
who's the tiebreaker? Because I'm with.
No love for student sections.
I'm with
you
the
guys
student
all
section.
argued for student sections last week.
Okay,
Well, actually, we
Student
didn't.
sections don't do much for me.
No, they don't do it for me either.
all right. I'll let you win this
Plus,
one.
in the Foothill League, when the competition's better, where it's team against team, that's where the student sections come in.
Okay.
Not a weekend trip to Corona. I mean,
All right, we'll put the Hart student
let's
section
see.
down in our notes.
If
Labor
the Hart
Day
student
weekend.
section feels like it deserves to be on this list, they'll tell us, right?
Sure.
They'll tell us.
Tweet us.
We'll put us down. The Hart student section's on probation. Probably not the right way to phrase that, but everyone else will move up. Where do you want to put Ted Iacenda?
I put him at 8. I think I'm going to put him just above Jan Miller.
All right, we'll put him just above Jan Miller. We'll move everybody else up. The Canyon secondary comes in at 3. The Golden Valley Grizzlies, at least for this week, at number 1. That's all we got. What do we do now?
I think we have to stamp it in.
Stamp it in.